Welcome back to the wrap-up of Misscliks D&D Pirate Edition. We were talking during the break, and what we want to do is we want to go through and talk about all the plot holes, or not plot holes, the unfinished plot lines, and things like, does Frank exist? What happened to the dragon? Who was that old woman? You know, those sorts of things. So, what do you guys want spoilers on first?
Well, maybe we should go through and tell the untold pieces of our backstories first.
There you go. Do that.
Do you want to go first, Faye? Let's do it in that order.
I'm really glad that I'm too tired to emotionally completely process what just happened. Because I'm like, har, like, derp, derp, we're dead.
Oh, and so that you guys stay tuned. Let's say this doesn't interest you. After that, we're going to discuss the next. It's like announcing for Survivor when they change season's location and you're like, and then they give you like a teardrop.
Only you get excited about that. Oh.
I just died. Leave me alone. But yeah, basically we're gonna be talking about the next season on Misscliks D&D. Yeah. So let's talk about our characters first. And yeah, I'm sad.
Okay, Faye.
I'm okay.
Okay.
I want to know about your brother and your monks and everything.
Okay, so I'm opening my original sheet that I didn't open in like 6 months, so I'm gonna have to read some parts. But basically, Faye is half Brazilian, half Japanese of origin looking. Faye means fate in Brazilian, and Tomo means wisdom in Japanese. So it was a link to the monk that I was. Basically, my place of birth is unknown, and even I don't know it. I was sheltered and raised in a monastery, and they found me. We were just brought to the monastery, me and my brother. We were really young, holding hands at the door kind of thing. Super cliche. And apparently I have siblings still alive, 2 that I know of, 2 that I don't know of, and 2 that are dead. So the unknown siblings, we could have found them eventually. Neal could have used that, but I don't think we had so many plot stories that this never happened. Other than that, let me just read real quick. So the mysterious illness from my brother was actually we didn't know what it was for months until he was just rested, like he was just set to bed, until like a mysterious like shaman or shusher or whatever you call that in D&D came to the monastery and gave us advice on how to heal my brother. So I still didn't know what the illness was. I just knew the ingredients on how to fix him, kind of thing. And that's when I started, and I started my travel. That's how I met the girls. Basically, that's my backstory. That's it.
Lily.
Neal, can you say what happened to her brother, or should we just keep that for after?
Oh, no. Without the proper ingredients, her brother slowly wastes away and dies.
Like, when did he die, though?
Oh, he died a year after you guys started. He lived for 1 year. So I think he probably died a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so the reason that we left the island was for someone who had already died.
Yeah. Well, you guys didn't check up on him ever. So, sometimes the illness just goes too quickly. And you didn't prioritize his survival, so he died.
I think it's good. I want to ask you more questions, because I want to do all characters properly. So, can you tell us a little bit about your D&D experience, Steph, and like how you grew and your character grew through it?
Well, this was my first D&D. I played like a few sessions of Cyberpunk with my friends, but it was really, really, really different. And my character was kind of selfish, so Faye was really hard for me to start. I remember telling Neal after one session, can I switch to a guy? Or even like, can I switch personality? Because I thought she was too boring, kind of, and I had really difficulties to role play her properly. But I guess over time when she started going a little crazy and like cutting the bullshit and just going straight to the point, that's when I started having fun, because you guys were always in this discussion and my fun was always to just run in and kill people, you know. And that's when I started to really have fun with it. Also, of course, I'm really new, so I'm super limited in my abilities. I thought I was always doing the same thing, but it was really hard for me not to use the punches because they were so strong. Every time I was using anything else, it was just not as effective as my double punch that would crit each time. So I would just like, all right, I'm just gonna punch because we need to stay alive, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really experiment. But it was I really liked Faye. And yeah, I think I worked the next day when she died. I was fucked up for like the whole day. Like people would meet me in the hallway. They're like, "What happened, Steph?" I'm like, "My D&D character died," and they were all like, "All right, you weirdo." Like move along. So yeah, and so that's why my second character that I didn't get to play, Wayne, I build it differently. I build it how I would want to role play him instead of how cool would it be? Because I thought Faye was cool, but I didn't know how to role play her. So I did exactly the opposite with my second character. So I really wanted to role play it, but oh well.
You can maybe reuse some parts of him or something.
No, there's no way. So maybe I can say it. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, sure.
first
You wanna
about
finish
Faye.
up? Yeah, I have more questions about Faye. We need to finish every story to feel good about it.
Well, I wanted to know because she was like this religious person and she prayed a lot at first, but then you said she kind of started to go crazy. So like, what made her go crazy? Was she actually like insane or?
No, it's just like from the way she was raised. For me, it was really as she only saw like praise and fake fights. She was never onto a real fight. When she started seeing blood and seeing like how strong she could be, it was more like a sentiment of control and power, and just like the blood made her go like, oh,
like
shit.
bloodlust.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh.
And that's why she was collecting it.
Yeah, because she wanted to gain like I don't know, like a trophy from her kills at one point.
So she's like a Dexter
kind of thing. But yeah, I kind of forgot to grab bloods on all bodies.
Yeah, that's fine. And 2 more questions. What did Faye mean to you?
As in real life?
Yeah, like as a character. How did you feel about her?
Like, did she teach you anything?
Oh, I mean, like what she taught me in real life is that I really feel uncomfortable doing stuff I wouldn't do real life. But that's me. I like in real life I can't lie. I can't, I can't do something that I don't truly believe in. If there's some injustice going on, I have to stand up and yell about it. That's just my personality. So when I was doing stuff that, like when Neal was flirting with Faye, that put me so uncomfortable because I fucking didn't know what to do, and I was just like, this is so awkward. What would someone that is not me do in that situation? I can't think of anything else but what I would do, So that's what I want to work on my future characters, is doing stuff that I wouldn't do as a person.
So that's what you want to do, like moving forwards, is like get away from.
Yeah, like trying to be like Steven was really inspiring because he was just like super into role play, and also because my English is not my first language. I don't know if it's like that for you, Jen, but doing big dialogues and using big words is really hard. Like, so complicated. So when you guys use these fancy words and you do all your bard stuff and that kind of thing, it's so hard for me to like think that I could do the same. So D&D is actually teaching me a lot of like
me too,
in front of people. And yeah,
I was like dying trying to do like the whole Lily Dudley thing. I was like, oh my god, I'm on the spotlight, I have to improvise, I have to talk, like Anna, step up, do it. Like, I cannot talk. And then I kept like stumbling on my words, and I'm like, my character wouldn't stumble. We would do okay. Really has acting proficiency. But yeah, anyway. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's do. Oh, I guess let's do my character.
Jen.
Did we finish out any of the other storylines about Faye? Was there anything else to be said?
No.
What was the other ingredients that we didn't get?
The tears from a Hydra?
Yeah, like, Neal, how would that have gone if we tried to go for a Hydra tears?
Then you would have to... I don't know. How would that go? How would you try and get Hydra tears? Would you...
Well, basically, like, we're super underpowered against a Hydra, right?
Yeah, but... I mean, if you wanted to go toe-to-toe and fight a Hydra in combat, you're pretty freaking underpowered. However, there's other ways to do it. Maybe you could... convince a town to help you go kill a Hydra, convince the soldiers in a town to do that. Which would be difficult straight up because, why would they go help you kill the Hydra that's not hurting them? So you might have to like plant evidence, or you could have done like a complicated side plot to get a town to join your battle against a Hydra.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, or you maybe would try some sort of like stealth where you like sneak up to the Hydra and like cut an onion in front of it and like get some tears or something. Like
really would have totally thought of that.
I would have tried, man. If I could have gotten the illusion spell off, I would have tried freaking making the Hydra hallucinate a sad thing from his past and be like his childhood.
Yeah, it would have been hard. Like toe to toe for Hydra, but the three of you probably would have died at this point.
Yeah.
If you had like 2 fighters and a cleric, maybe you could have done it. But a fighter, a thief, and a wizard would be rough.
I have to say, like, it's pretty good that we survived as long as we did without a healer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we survived a long time.
I think the seafaring campaign style lends itself to that because you have so much time between events. Like you'll do something and then it'll be like 2 weeks later you'll do something else while you sail around the water. So that gives you a lot of time to heal.
Except sometimes a freaking storm hits and you just all die.
But sometimes a storm hits and you all die. But that's the...
And your boat sinks and everything sucks.
So, hey, that happens in the real world. That's the danger of a seafaring campaign.
I guess.
Storms blow out of nowhere.
Okay, yeah, sorry. So, Lily.
Do you want me to talk about Wayne at the end?
Yeah, I guess. Since it's like more... What do you guys think?
Your call.
Yeah, I think later.
Okay. Oh, wait. I'm just writing plot holes that I want to solve. Okay. So my backstory with Lily. Let me get it out. All right. There's a bunch of stuff I had hidden. It's so funny. So basically her full name, because halflings have really long names and like sub and post names according to my research. So her full name is Little Lily Dudley Furry Toes. She would have never admitted to having them though.
No.
Her stage name, I've never gotten to it because we didn't see that's another plot hole, the caravan. Basically her stage name was the Magnificent Miss Terry Tea Leaf. Her sex was female, 23-year-old and halfling, 3 blah blah blah, chaotic neutral. Her magic alignment is red magic. She's an air elementalist. Her circus from her hometown is called the Fortunate Crystal. Her mom is Mimosa Dudley. Her dad is Halfred Dudley. Her older brother is Wild Lyle Dudley. And the mean guy's name is Laughing Pimpernel Goodbody. The laughing is like the silent part of it. So why she hated him is because he used to call her Furry Toes. And that's how she got that name. It stuck through her, through the village. Everyone just called her Furry Toes. That's why she was so scared of showing her hairy feet and would always hide it. She fled because she was humiliated and sad and young. And she stole his 2 crystal balls because she just hated his guts. And she didn't know if
so he wasn't actually evil. He's just like mean.
He's just a town bully. And her best friend's name, it doesn't really matter, but whatever. Her best friend's name was Traveling Mimosa Weatherby Wind. I don't know why. Pimpernel bullied her best friend as well because she once farted in public and called her Mimosa Wind. I don't know why I wrote that. There was a flamethrowing guy named spitter that helped Lily with the basic elemental of fire. Then Lily had her tattoos on her bodies. She wrote some in halfling. It was all her level 1 spells tattooed so that she would never lose them because she heard of wizards losing their spells. So if she lost her book, she would still have had all her level 1 spells. Besides that, her goal in life was to gather the most spells possible and just become really powerful and then scare the living shit out of Pimpernel. And everyone that bullied her, because she's against bullies. She had green eyes, red long wavy hair with feathers and beads. So, she was, I know it's long, I'm sorry, but I wrote it, so let's just freaking read it once and then
Now's the time, yeah.
It's my moment. It's almost done. So, she was part of a traveling circus of wizards alongside her family who was blessed with the ability to tell fortunes. So, they were all diviners, that thing. They were incredible. The Lily family was really bad at fortune telling. They were the worst of the whole circus. And she wasn't even blessed with divination. She was elemental. So she wanted to learn how to control the elements. And that's why she started talking to the flame-throwing guy named Spitter. And then she pretended her whole life to have the same power as her family. And since they were so shitty, people would believe her. Her brother Lyle left 10 years ago when she was 16. He's now 26 and he started an adventure on his own. Inspired by his initiative, she then decides to leave her family as well 2 years ago when the adventure starts with the girl crew. She thinks that they aren't doing... she thinks what her family is doing isn't meaningful and she was bullied, so she basically wants to take down bullies and become better than Pimpernel. He had a pet ferret, so she hates ferret. Really bad. I did it right after Abigail, so I was like, let's hate ferret. She ate small rodents, and the day she left, she decided to steal the balls just to piss on Pimpernel. Then she's been traveling, looking for wizard spells. She met the party, and she just wants to hide her hairy feet from boys. She had a bunch of stuff I didn't really come through with, and I was disappointed. I had the idea that she pretends to communicate with spirits or ghosts. So that's what I did at the beginning of the show. I was like, oh yeah, the ghost. And you're like, which way did she go? And I'm like, I don't actually have any way of using ghosts to help us. And then the tarot cards, the tea leaves was me like saying random bullshit because I didn't actually have spells for that. I said I could read auras, have premonitions and visions. Everything was bullshit. Palm reading, fortune telling, I didn't have anything. So I was trying to pretend I had that because it was funny. But I was like still young in role-playing, so I had trouble pulling through with the fake spells. I couldn't figure it out. But she was supposed to be really good at bluffing because she convinced herself she could actually do it and believed in it. So when she would do it, she'd be like, oh yeah, I totally see something. Didn't see shit. So she would use that to influence people to do what she wanted. She's like, oh yeah, the spirit says that, but it was actually her saying that. And she thinks of her as a little bit better than everyone, and she's slightly arrogant, and she likes to have the spotlight. Her special item was the 2 crystal balls, and that's it for Lily Dudley.
No, go ahead.
No, that's it.
Lily was pretty old, right?
Like, not that old.
She was like 20-something, right?
26.
Did she ever have a boyfriend?
Nope.
Ever? Nothing? Ever?
No, because furry feet.
Really?
She was too scared.
Do you feel like there was something that you wanted to accomplish with her, like that you were expecting later? Was it just to go back and scare Pimpernel?
If I could have found a guy that matched her, I think I would have tried to pursue it a little bit and have him join our crew, but nobody was the good height.
Except for the dwarf.
Yeah, and the dwarf just rolled the 1 and farted. Everyone's chances to love. So yeah, with Lily, basically, it was my favorite D&D character I've ever created, so I'm really sad to lose her, because I loved her a lot.
Why was it your favorite character? Because you created a lot.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why her. I guess like it was my second. Abigail was great, but it was just my first, and it was a bit inexperienced, and I had trouble like making her grow and evolve, even though I tried. Lily, I feel I had a starting idea, but I got to make her evolve with the story. I was trying to see what the character would think, and I knew she wanted power, so I was like, I felt like it was right for her to do that shift. Like when the child died, I was like, that's the turning point when she's like, yeah, my magic is fucking powerful.
That was so fucked up.
Yeah. And then that's why she was darker. Like at the end when she's like half delirious, she's like, just kill him, I don't give a shit. Like she was like, her goal was gonna be to become as powerful as possible. And to be honest, I even envisioned her like just at some point like leaving you guys for the wizard if things happened like lined up perfectly. I think she would have just tried to have the most power possible because she's bad. But she's nice. So it's like a conflict between like friendship and life mission power. So I liked it. I was trying to like hover in that sea. So fitting for a pirate story. But yeah, I really liked her. I don't know why. I think it's because there was parts of me in her, but there was stuff that's really different and independent. And I kind of got to understand what I think she should be doing, like how she should react at some points. So like the evil power thing and the friendship made sense. I don't know. I really liked her. I love the spell casting. It's so much fun. It's like problem solving. I feel my law school past getting into play. It's like really nice. I love spellcasters.
Yeah, you were impressive with all the spells. I thought
it's fun. I want more spells. Yeah, I was sad because I couldn't get more spells anymore, but whatever. Yeah, so Lily, I think I made her the best D&D character I could, and I hope that the next one will be as good, and I think it's going to be hard.
What about the question you asked Stephanie? What do you think that she meant to you or she taught you in real life?
Well, it's applicable to what Steph said earlier about like, because in the roleplay, I have a lot of trouble taking my place with Jeff and JP and the guys. And with you guys, I had a little bit more wiggle room. Even though you did more character interactions, I still got to do my own parts where Lily just took the lead. So I think leadership and that Lady Dudley thing was like a big moment for me. I thought I was like shitting my pants trying to figure it out. Like I was trying to become more and more of a leader with Lily and decisive while being friendly. I don't know. I really liked her. My favorite.
I thought you grew on the show because at the beginning I thought you were exactly what you are saying from what you have trouble with on roleplay. I thought you were doing that to us.
Yeah.
I thought it was really hard to talk and you would just cut us and everything, and now I don't even see the problem anymore. You're just we were really united at the end.
I think I was just having trouble finding the right balance. It's like you try something and you try it so hard to like make it go through. It's like Lily is a leader type personality, ramming it into like the people. But yeah. Besides that, what I want to change moving forward, I don't really want to change anything. I'm gonna try a new character, but I'm having a lot of trouble moving on from Lily and saying I'll make someone different because she was so much fun, but I'll have to. So I'll have to think of something fun that's different, but at the same time that has a lot of development possibilities. Yeah, so that's it for Lily.
Cool.
Wait, do we have ties that Neal can answer about Lily?
I don't know. Do you have any questions for me?
What happened to Pimper Neal?
Yeah.
He's just going around being a dick.
Is he still with the circus?
Yeah, the whole circus is still going along.
Damn.
Shit, what's your emote? Pimper? Pimper Neal?
Shit, what is it? It's Pinker Neal.
Pinker Neal?
Yeah, it's...
What? It doesn't work. Anyway.
It's like that. It's really fucked up.
Oh, Kiki.
Yeah. I tried to mush the words together. Besides that, what happened to my parents?
They're going about doing the same thing. They just continued their life after you left. They're in the circus with Pimpernel and everyone else.
Suck. What about the brother Lyle that left the family thinking they sucked and wanted to start his own adventure? He died. He died?
Yeah, he died.
How did he die?
He got into trouble with some law. Got thrown in jail for a little while he was in jail. He met some unsavory folks who kind of like wanted to use his abilities, and because he had like a little bit of illusion stuff going for him, and so he fell into the midst of some thieves who, as soon as the job was done, turned him over as the culprit, and he got his hands hacked off for stealing the thing that they stole, which was they broke into a house and stole some stuff, and he died as a result of his wounds of the hands getting cut off. Yep.
Poor Lyle.
Did you actually name him Lyle?
Yeah.
You do know my little brother's name is Lyle.
No. That's so funny.
I have a little brother named Lyle.
High five, Jen from the past. It's written in my character sheet and I had no idea. I love it.
That's great.
That's ridiculous.
Is your mom named Mimosa?
No.
Are the magic balls magical?
No.
Oh, what did the necklace do that you wore?
Yeah.
Where did you get this necklace again? I keep forgetting every time.
The first one was like we looted one of the first ships.
Abjuration necklace was the first one.
Oh, it is a necklace of featherfall. If you say the right word as you are falling, you just float.
Well, shit, that's really cool. And what about the second one?
The second one, where did you get that one? I'm trouble.
Was it when we looted Francis's house or someone's house or something?
Yeah, maybe.
The second one, Jesus, what was it? I have it in notes somewhere. I recently rewrote it down last time we had this argument or discussion. Amulet of Infravision, which you already have Infravision, so.
That's still really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Yeah, that's it. Oh, what about face shit that we had the thingy that we didn't know what it did?
What thingy that you didn't know what it did?
The island amulet didn't do anything else. What about the mysterious amulet from Faye?
Mysterious Faye. I think it was non-magical, right?
It was not magical. It was just a brother kind of thing where we had it.
Yeah, you'd have to ask Faye about it.
It was to find my brother, kind of.
Okay.
So you could compare the amulet and be like, oh, it's your brother! And
yeah, we could have actually found him with that with good enough magic. So
yeah, he had the other amulet that looked the same.
So it could have worked. Okay, yeah, that's it for Lily.
December.
Nope. So, December also didn't know who her parents were. Kind of similar backstory to Faye, actually. Because she was just, like, dropped off at the door of or stolen by, she doesn't know how she got there as a baby, but as a baby she was at the Order of the Nameless Ones, that assassin's cult that she came from. And they're called the Nameless Ones because nobody in the cult has a name. All the assassins are, like, merely tools of the mission. The mission of the assassins is to create balance in the world between good and evil, which is obviously problematic because they're the ones who choose what's good and what's evil. But the point is that if they think someone is too good or too evil, then they assassinate that person. Or if there's too much good in the world, they kill a good person. Or if there's too much bad in the world, they kill a bad person. And so the assassins are just dispatched based on that agenda. Although that agenda probably was corrupt because it seemed like they were starting to assassinate, like, important political figures and royalty and all of that kind of stuff. So like I mentioned before, December's name comes from just that as you grow up as an assassin in this cult, you're tested every year to see whether you've attained the level you should be by that age. You're tested in a certain month, and they just call you a December or a January or a February, and you don't have your own name. So December was just a December. And so that's why she went by December, because that's the only thing she'd ever been called, but it wasn't really her name. Which actually kind of comes from, it's kind of a ripoff of Game of Thrones. There's like a faceless ones or something. They refer to themselves as this one or that one or whatever. Anyway, so she grew up, she was like a really successful assassin, partly because she was so nondescript looking, because she was a half elf, but she was like medium height, medium brown hair, like just very nondescript. If you looked at her face, you wouldn't really remember her or recognize her, kind of thing. The only thing was that she had really pale gray eyes, and so that's why she always wore a hood, because in order to keep herself nondescript, she needed to hide her eyes. And it was really important for those assassins to be nondescript, because they didn't want to be remembered or discovered or anything like that. So that's why she was really successful. And then she kind of reached her, like, the time where she had gone through all of her training, and she was supposed to complete one final big task, one big assassination, and then she could be a full member of the Order of the Nameless Ones. And that was to not assassinate, but capture Varys Longborn. And she wasn't told why or anything, because they're just expected to obey regardless. But she went and captured him, and then it was a long journey back from where she had to capture him. And the whole time he talked to her and treated her with like respect and kindness, even though she was his captor. And she had never had any emotional relationship with a human being before. Like, she had trainers, but never caretakers, never friends, because specifically the Nameless Ones don't allow that kind of emotion or relationship or anything like that. So she knew nothing about friendship. She knew nothing about love. She knew nothing about being cared for or depending on people or anything like that. So he basically, over the course of that journey, treated her in a way she'd never been treated before, and talked to her about what love means and what friendship means. And obviously she can't learn everything about love and friendship, but it was like, it just totally challenged everything she ever believed in. And so she brought him back to the Nameless Ones the way she was supposed to, but then she would go and like visit him where he was being held and talk to him, and eventually fell in love with him. I think I had written down that they like had one kiss or something like that, but then as soon as that happened, the Nameless Ones in charge found out about it, like walked in, saw them talking to each other, saw the kiss or something like that. And she was like severely punished and told that, you know, like if she would have one more chance to complete a big assassination task, and then she could be back in good graces. But if not, she was to be killed, because she had failed the order, basically, because she had given in and had a relationship with another human, and, you know, she wasn't worthy of the task of balance, basically. So then, even after that, she went back looking for him where they had been holding him, but he was gone, just disappeared, and nobody would tell her what happened to him, because if she asked, she would probably be killed, because it would prove that she cared more about him than she did about the order. So she was given this other task, which is that there was someone who was too good in the world, and it was a child priest in like one of the northern kingdoms who was healing people, and he was healing too many people, so he was doing too much good. So I had a little vial of poison on me, and it was this specific poison that I had to kill this child priest with. So that was the mission that I was supposed to complete. But like, they didn't give me a timeline or anything. They just expected me to go do it and then come back. So I was kind of like on the run from the Nameless Ones, thinking that Varys was probably dead, not knowing whether the creed that I had been brought up with was the right one, and Varys had been like evil to try to take me from my mission, or whether he was right and the Nameless Ones are actually like completely messed up and I shouldn't be part of them anymore. And then the clincher was that I rolled a 6 for willpower, so it made sense that someone who had been raised in a cult would just kind of like be used to doing what she was told. But that's kind of why she ended up hanging out with Faye and Lily so much, because she met people that like paid attention to her, that had kind of a mix of like they have this love and friendship thing that December's kind of looking to learn more about, but then they also will tell her what to do most of the time. And
oh no. Oh no.
now whatever, then she was more likely to do that. What?
For a moment, everything froze. You guys all froze, and the audio stopped. But if it's
Are we back?
We're back. Yeah, where everything's cool.
Okay. Yeah, so where was I? Anything else about her? She was supposed to be extremely skilled at imitating human emotion, but not to experiencing it. So the reason she was really good at flirting or talking her way out of situations is that she had excessive amounts of training on like how to manipulate people, but not how to actually experience the emotion she was imitating. So she's really messed up. And I guess there's like a ton of questions about December's backstory. The first, I guess, starting at the beginning would be like, who are her parents and how did she end up at the nameless ones?
Do you want me to make up answers for you, or are you happy with
Oh, you
those
don't
big
know?
questions? Well, I had never really determined it. It hadn't become important yet, so I was going to wait until it became something important before I went into detail on it.
Okay, well, it can just be a question.
Yeah.
And then I guess, is Varys alive actually?
Yes, Varys is alive.
Ooh, where is he?
He is basically what happened in the April Fool's Day thing is correct. That's where he is.
So he really didn't like December?
No, that bit was just to screw with December during April Fool's.
Okay.
Yeah, that bit was to screw with her, but his location is kind of the same place. He thinks about her, but he's got dragged into some political stuff, and he's been really busy has a lot of pressure. He's kind of ruling a small area now. He thinks of December fondly time and again, but usually gets distracted and back to what he's supposed to be doing. And it hasn't happened yet. Well, he is currently engaged to someone. Which is a matter of like politics, not necessarily romance, but politically useful for him to marry. He's engaged, hasn't gotten married yet. He escaped because he wouldn't really escape. Actually, you were hired to bring him here, so the Nameless Ones could properly threaten him and put him in a position of power for them. He's acting kind of in their stead, like he's their
snare.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Varys.
Yeah.
So they were going to make him marry somebody.
Well, I mean, they put him in a position to rule this area, to kind of act as their minion, and he just needs to. It benefits himself and it benefits them. It was his choice. They didn't say marry this person. But he's like, well, I'm here. If I try and run away, I'm screwed. So I'm gonna do the best job I can. And in order to do that, like if I married this woman, this binds my family with her family, which brings my status up here, and then I get her father's wealth or access to part of her father's wealth, which I can use to fund this thing, to do this thing.
Oh, poor Varys.
Yeah.